everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this very special Todo Latino interview. Our guest today is Yessica Villatoro, a Latina entrepreneur and owner of Just Period, a product that is destigmatizing the way menstruation is and means to everyone. I'm really excited about this because I feel like as a man, we kind of need to talk about this subject more.
Absolutely.
Especially in the Latino community so that they can help educate themselves for their partners as parents, and as human beings. But welcome to the show, and I can't wait to dive into all of that.
Welcome, Jessica.
Welcome. Thank you.
So my first question to you, I ask it of everybody. We all have an origin story. I'm curious as to how it was for you as a Latina growing up and what made you become an entrepreneur.
Okay, so I'm from Mexico, from the north of Mexico, Chihuahua. For those of you who do not know, we have nothing to do with the Chihuahua dog. It's just...
I was just about to ask that. I'm not Mexican, so you say Chihuahua. That's the first thing that came up.
But we do embrace the Chihuahua dog, though. But it's
I feel
unrelated.
like it's a marketing ploy, right?
Exactly. And actually, if you would have asked me last year, this same time around, I probably would have said, no, I'm never going to become an entrepreneur. I went through a life-changing experience, and that's what kind of shifted my tone. I've been in corporate in supply chain for 12 years now, and I always thought I was going to be in that, but something changed in me, and I said, you know what, I got to do this. So now I'm doing it. I'm the first one in my family, first in many things, and yeah, that's how I started an entrepreneur.
Very cool.
So you have a first gen experience, right?
I don't know if I call myself a first gen because I wasn't born here, and also my family no longer lives here. So I lived here a long time ago for my first, I'd say 10 years, and I left the country for, 17 years.
Oh, wow.
And I just came back 6 years ago because I got married. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So it is difficult to say first gen, or even identifying as a Chicana is I'm not, because I was never born here, though I did kind of have my life back and forth.
So your family's over there right now?
Yes, all of
and
my
you're the only
family
one out here with your husband?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow. Well, Jessica, I'm curious. So how you came up with the name Just Period?
Yeah, so my name is Yessica, as we talked about earlier. But my mom taught me how to write my name with the J. So we're basically blaming it on the Mexican authorities that switched my name, because ever since I was a little girl, it was with the J, with the J, with the J. When I grew up on the acta, it was with the Y, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've always signed with a J. And I come from a family where it's only girls. My dad was in our life for a very brief time, so we've had to give a lot between us. And I said, you know what, this is now time to do something for myself, for me, and that's why I chose to add my name onto my brand.
So why reusable pads? What was the idea behind this?
I'm gonna twist the question to you. Did somebody ever educate you on to use tampons?
No.
Growing up?
No, they actually didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same me. When I got my period when I was 14, actually the first thing that they told me is, use toilet paper. Wrap toilet paper around your hand and use that. And basically pad was just thrown onto me, and that's it. No other options were ever laid out to me. So right now I'm well over 30. Scratch that, don't say that. And I've never been able to use a tampon. In fact, my first experience trying to use a tampon was with my high school best friend, Bibiana, and still I wasn't even able to use it. So when you think about reusable products, we talk about the menstrual disc, the menstrual cup. That's the alternative for the tampon. But there's no alternative for the actual pad. And this is it, the reusable pad.
Okay. And I have the same problem as you. I never learned how to use a tampon. Sorry, Babbler, for this topic.
I'm here. Look, I'm here. I'm here as a learner.
Don't feel bad. It happened to me,
but
too.
I could never learn. I never learned, and it's never been a part of my period.
And that's what I think is part of like they create, an experience that, takes me back. Like nobody really sits down and talk to you when this moment happens to you as a little, not as a little girl, but you're like something maybe between 12 and 13, give and take. And then this takes place. And then the fact that as much as our parents may mean well, but then nobody really sits down and explains to you these things, know?
And all the symptoms that come with it, I feel like a lot of men don't really understand what it's like to have a period, because not every month is going to be different. You may be angry one month, you may be sad, you may be having cramps, back pain, so it's a lot. And I know that a lot of pads and tampons have bad side effects, right?
Yes. So, rashes. I mean, I guess the biggest thing is getting cancer from the toxic products. That is in extreme cases, but it is a possibility. And similar to many other products, or when they give you medicine, when they give you something, they just say, oh, here, take it, but they never talk about the side effects that comes by using that specific product.
So are pads necessarily bad for women, or does it just kind of depend on the brand?
It kind of depends. Right now, there's a lot of options, not only the reusable ones, but disposable ones that are 100% organic cotton. But the thing with that is that they are still disposable. So that's still going to create trash and go to the landfill.
So the purpose is more to be eco-friendly, and maybe it's better for your health too, right?
Yes, and for the comfort of the woman. They ask me a lot. Oh, and by the way, when I talk about women, because I'm a woman, I identify as a woman, and my experiences are from a woman, but
perspective, but exactly to any people that menstruate.
Exactly. Yes. Sorry. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Wait, what?
Ask again.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying, oh my God, I lost my train of thought too.
They both lost their train of thought.
Yeah, you were going to say something though.
No, she was talking about the products that are made, and the health,
is there
health
any
benefits.
bad, I was asking, like, is there bad side effects on the disposable pads?
Yes. So when I made these pads, and I test everything, all of the fabrics that I buy, I test it all on myself. I'm my biggest tester, and my sisters and my nieces. I give everything to them for them to give me feedback. Something that I chose was the softness in the product. So this is minky material, and then if you touch it, it's kind of like a blanket for a baby. And
it feels really soft.
Yes, that's my main purpose, the comfort of the woman. The eco-friendly comes like as a added thing for the product, but really my objective is for the woman for any menstruator really to feel comfortable. That's the point. No rashes. You would notice that these have wings. Before, I never used to use wings with disposable ones, but these have to have wings because there's no glue on the back.
Right.
Exactly.
So something has to hold up.
Yeah. However, you don't feel the wings because it's so soft. So no rashes.
There you go. And also,
shafting.
I'm sure you tested it out for one of the biggest issues women have is staining themselves.
Yes. Bleeding.
Yes. So, and I know you were curious about this as well.
Yeah, because I'm a dad, so and I was a single dad, so I raised my two daughters. One of the biggest topics that you guys were talking about were the fact that there's not really enough education. When my girls had it, we went right to the pad. Like that was just what I knew, from being raised by a mom. I had the same question that she was kind of going to ask, because, when I look at the pad, one of the biggest things that my daughters dealt with were like a heavy flow or things like that. And I'm looking at the pad. What kind of technology is inside to kind of hold that? So
a few things on that. So these are made out of 3 different layers. The top one being what touches your skin. Right. And this one is, the function for the top one is just being soft to your skin. Then there's an inner layer that you don't see because it's sewn in, that is called Zorb. And this material is basically a made in the USA technology, actually, that absorbs twice or even 3 times what a regular period product would absorb. And I know many girls, they approach me and they say, hey, but I have heavy flow, I can't use this. Reusables, reusables are meant for everybody, not just for like somebody that has a light flow. The more Zorb that you have in between the layer, the more the more liquid it will absorb. Why? Because also the technology that is in there, it disperses the liquid, in this case, the menstrual blood.
Spread it around.
Yes. So the bigger, the more it absorbs. And on that topic, there's also a misconception that, oh, because you're a little girl or a little body or lightweight, you're just going to use the very little one. That's incorrect.
No,
it doesn't
wrong.
have.
I see different sizes here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And how would you know how many times, like how long would one last you?
It depends on you. Like you would know yourself, like, hey, this is feeling like too heavy. I need to probably change it. Mm-hmm. Yes. So recommended time is 8 hours, but it's just mainly on your body, like how
depending on the flow. Because I know when you and I were discussing this product, off interview, I had asked you the question, like, for instance, somebody who's at work and they have to, because you would buy these in more than just one, obviously.
Yes.
But if you're at work, let's say, and you had to use this product and you're running into what she's saying, what would be, like, how would you deal with that? Because when you have a tampon, you can just go and change that out. Or if you have, like, a pad, you can just go dispose that out. How would this work in, like, a work experience, let's say, for the day?
So I have a pad on right now, actually, and I'm out and about. Reusables are not only to be at home, and I think that's also kind of the information that is not known, that we think about reusables and we just think about, oh, it's only when I'm at home. And no, we can do it on the go like a regular pad. The opposite thing that you would do is, instead of throwing it away, you're going to take it back with you. I have these wet bags that I make as well, and they are basically leak proof. In here you will put your clean pad. Let's say if it was a regular disposable one, you have your clean pad, you go out and about. Let's say I'm done here with the studio with you guys and I need to go change. I will put in my dirty one in here and then change to my
And that's
clean
water.
one.
That's liquid proof. Like it's.
Yes, this is liquid proof.
So it will not stain or anything like that, or
It could stain, but you could use hydrogen peroxide. But this material is a liquid proof. Liquid proof.
Okay, so I think that's what she meant by the stain. Like it's not going to come out of the bag.
No.
exactly.
No, that's what's called the wet bag. So
okay.
this material, this right here, and you will probably recognize it from, the mattresses. Have you seen those mattresses that you put a protector for the kids? It's that same type of
And
material.
what's like the easiest way to wash these?
That was my next question.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So I also have bigger ones of this wet bag, kind of like this big. And what I do is I put them in, all of the used ones, and then once I'm done with my period, I throw them in the washer. One load.
The bag?
One load.
No. Like, I'm done with the bag, a big bag. I've put, 15, 30. You mentioned earlier, you would obviously use more than one. Yes.
Yeah.
Once you're done with your 15 or 30 or how many ever you need, you will just throw them in the washer, and then you will air dry them. That's the best way to keep them, to make them last, because the fabrics last up to 3 to 5 years, but it just depends on how well you care for them.
Mm-hmm. So what happens if you actually do like machine dry them?
Really nothing, as long as you tumble dry them. But if you put them like on the highest,
heat,
yeah, you're probably gonna burn your fabric from the top.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Creating this, and I actually got caught off by the wings. So the wings are just to kind of tie it like that, right? And
Yes.
Because it's not.
Because it holds it.
Yeah, because it's
It holds
all
it
Yeah.
anywhere, so it
all over
doesn't.
the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because I was about to ask you. I see these two like plastic. Like, how does that work if they wasn't?
Yeah, the other
No,
way.
there would be, if there was no wings, there would be no, it wouldn't hold
It
in
could
place.
probably shift. You could still use it. I do make some like that, but it will probably shift.
Move around.
And we don't like the shifting, because then that could cause an accident.
Okay, so
Overflow
I'm an idiot. I guess pads, when they have the wings, it's so that you could fold them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
stay-
I
it
didn't know
stays
that. I
still.
thought
And
it
it
was.
stays
So it
still.
For
stays
me, I could
still.
have sworn the wings were just to keep everything in. Like, not. I had no idea that it was. And our producer's laughing his ass off because he has absolutely no clue. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, I was to me, that's what I thought wings were. Like they were just a way to kind of
Have you
Or
seen-
like keep more ink.
There's like a trend
extra
right now where
protection.
the wife asked the husband, "Can you go get me pads and wings?" And he brought pads.
Oh,
and
yes, and no wings.
Yeah, there was
He's like, "What? You said wings and pads."
Yeah.
But now,
Actually, that's not a
Jessica,
bad idea.
I have a question. So, do you have any stats or numbers for us? And, you mentioned earlier about the menstrual cup versus, period. The point is, tell us, like, you're given a consciousness when it comes to, for the environment.
Yeah, so using myself as an example, and I actually just did a video about this earlier this week. So let's say I use 24 pads in 1 month, so that's 280 in a year that I would buy disposable. In a lifetime, that's over 10,000 pads that I would have used.
per person.
Per person, yes, but that's on the minimum.
Yeah.
10,000 is on the minimum. That's not even saying that I bought like night pads or I had to change even more often. Or some girls, I hear that they say, "Oh, I have to use a tampon and a pad so I don't leak." And then my brain kind of goes like, "What do you mean you're wasting like a lot of money on this? This is costing you a lot, and you don't
Yes.
even have a choice for your period."
Yes.
So let's say, like I said, the pads can last up to 3 to 5 years. If I were to only use this for 4 years with the 24 pads, I'm already saving over 1,000 period products going to the landfill.
And not only that, you're saving money because buying a
Yes.
pack of, and prices went up. Buying a pack of pads now, like for every period you have, is about, I would say, like $13. It just depends. Like
Yeah, and see, when you look at the price for one pad only, it sounds pricey. But when you compare it on the long run, it's like, no, it actually makes sense that I buy reusables, especially when you have to double up, especially when you have so many flow and you're constantly changing. But then it goes back to period poverty. What can I afford right now? What's
Correct.
cheaper between this pad or a disposable one? Even though the disposable one might be more toxic, this is what I can afford right now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Let me see the big one that's over there.
Yes.
I want to show that. So this is
That's
what it
a
looks like. You see
nice
the
sleeper.
pattern that's on there. I'm going to ask a guy question.
Yes.
From a novelty perspective, can you get this in like different patterns? Like, can I get like a New York Giants version of this or something like?
Absolutely.
Or,
Hey.
Powerpuff Girls over here.
Yeah.
no, I mean I know that they have the
I didn't
different
get a
ones.
character. Just
But I'm saying, like, if you went online, could you modify this to like Mickey and all kinds of other stuff? Like, is that an option when
Yes,
you
yes.
purchase the product?
Anything.
Very
Anything
cool.
really.
What's the price on like one like this?
Like about $13.
13. Okay.
Yes. One.
I'm assuming that somebody would have to buy like probably like maybe 4 or 5 in a pack or something like that in order for like a day's worth.
To start off, I would recommend 3.
3.
3, yes.
Okay.
But when I started with 1 because I wasn't convinced.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to try this. This is new. And I would just wash it and wash it and wash it. But then also you're wasting a lot of water. So you probably have to build up a little bit more. But yeah,
So it's
with
easier
3,
to have the comfort of being able to wash 4 at a time as opposed to just one over and over and over and
exactly.
Well, periods
exactly.
last from 4 to 5 days sometimes.
Give and
so-
take. Yeah, about like 7.
So you have to
Yeah, that
think how many you're
Up
going
to
use.
7, yeah.
Up to 7.
over. Now you wash these on their own, right? Like you wash them. I wouldn't be mixing this with.
Yeah. You wouldn't
Don't
wash
wash
that.
this with
Preferably.
Preferably.
Would you recommend washing
good idea
these
to mix this.
by hand at all?
Yes. So in my Mexican culture, it's very common to have the tallador, like where you, I don't even know what's
And that
that
doesn't
word in
ruin
English.
like the inner lining, that the product that does the
No,
absorbing?
Like the washboard.
Unless you're actually, yes,
The
the
washboard.
washboard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Washboard.
Unless you're actually like rubbing it, then yes, you're going to lift the fabrics. But like a light thing or even like doing it by hand like this,
Yeah, by
I
hand.
actually do a rinse by hand myself in the tub.
So if you had to do it by hand, like what kind of soap do you recommend would be good? Is it regular detergent?
So that's like the best one for hand washing.
See, now we just turn around. Now, Sote, you owe us some money for.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Exactly.
Just
Wait, so
sponsoring.
you hand make all of these?
Yes, everything. So everything from scratch.
How long does it take you to do one?
So
Did you just hiss?
yes. Okay.
She went into kitty mode. She's like, how much? It's like, what's coming out now?
I could make 10 of these each hour.
Really?
Yes, from scratch. Oh,
You
actually,
use a
Okay, what is the?
a sewing machine and a serger.
A sewing machine, that's
and a
what I
serger.
thought.
I use two different types of machines. I source my fabric. I cut my fabric. I sew everything. Everything that you see here, I have sewn.
So what happens if you get like a huge order? Is there like, so when you get it, is it dependent on like how fast you work, or do you have like a backup?
It's how fast I work, but I also have stock.
And you brought
Oh, okay.
this.
I build up stock.
And they come in.
Yes.
Oh,
Tell us more
there's
about
a
that.
test. No, that's a tester
Yeah, it could
you
be
go.
a tester.
right there.
try to test it with the water.
So,
I wonder if the camera's gonna catch it, but we'll try it.
okay. So this is 1 tablespoon. This is 15 milliliters, I believe. And according to science, a menstruator can menstruate or have flow up to 5 to 6 times this size. So when you look at it, it looks like so insignificant, so little, but when you're actually having the flow, it's massive. Like
Yep.
massive. I don't know, I can't imagine this. Anything over the 5 or 6 is basically somebody who has
A heavy flow.
a bleeding disorder.
Okay.
A little
Oh.
bit of a more serious situation. Yeah. And that is very common nowadays. Okay. So let's do the
tests.
yeah. I forgot to mention earlier, this last layer, I said the middle layer is the absorbent layer, but this is the leak-proof layer, the back one. So in case your middle layer fails, your back one is basically gonna come into the rescue.
I was touching the material and it feels like,
Yeah.
very sturdy.
It is. It is really thick. I
Yes.
didn't bring that material, but it is really thick. It's also called Zorb, but this one is Zorb 4D. It's a technology.
So are you gonna show us 5 of those going in? Or
Oh,
how
I
many?
could, yeah.
That would be interesting.
That's one. Also, I'm gonna press it in with my hand. This presses in when you have it against your body, but
Of course.
right now there's nothing pressing it in. So
Skin to pad. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna have to do like a speed video.
Absorption.
Yeah, I wonder if I should just do it directly.
I was gonna say water and blood are
Different viscosity.
Yes.
Yes.
So I feel like the blood would probably soak in a lot quicker than the water.
Yes, it will. Okay.
But see, now it's
So that's just one, but that was really, really hard to push it in.
can you show us the back?
Yes.
The leak proof. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. And it doesn't even feel heavy. But you are the expert. When somebody tells me, "Are you an expert?" Hell yeah, I'm the expert in my body.
Right.
I know. So you will also know like when you need to change it.
No, pero para jokes. No, I'm just kidding.
How
take the
long have
water
you been
bottle
in
and-
business for?
So I'm about to come on 1 year. I started everything in March, but I didn't formally register until May. So I'm about to come.
And how many products
On
have you
there.
sold? Do you have like an estimate?
So really my first year has been more about exploring and connecting and finding comunidad and getting the message out. Because when I do get out there, some of the girls actually like they don't want to talk about it, or they like get shy to talk about it. So that has been the work that I have actually put in place. To be very honest, and I don't know if you want to publish this, I haven't yet like sold substantially. I've sold, but I haven't sold substantially because it's such a new concept.
And I really appreciate that you took the time to do your research and really like find like the method that works. I trust you because I mean we all get periods, and like you saying like I took the time to try it out and see if it's for me and if I like it and if it works, like that says that the product is worth buying. So
I mean, you're going to be at Revolucion, so she's going to have a table at Revolucion.
Oh, great.
So she'll be selling the product there. But if they wanted to buy it, before that time frame, where would they go? Because I know you're going to be in the women's magazine, so they can definitely use the barcode there.
My website, justperiod.com.
Okay.
That's it. Straightforward.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Coming from a father's perspective, and from a man's perspective, especially in the community, I think it's extremely important for us to kind of educate ourselves. I think it makes us better if we know more and the information that you're providing, and to be able to provide alternatives is kind of something that's really cool, especially for our kids and, for somebody who, like you said, this may be less expensive than what people are currently paying. So, thank you for introducing us. This was pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll definitely be trying it. So all you
Okay,
ladies,
you got to give us a full report then.
I know, right?
I'll
Yes,
give her
please.
a voice.
Honest feedback, when the interactions that I have and so far have been very meaningful, because I've met girls that have endometriosis or fibroids or even other bleeding disorders that have nothing to do with menstruation, and they tell me their personal stories, and I give them product and I say, please give me your feedback, because these products are for them, for the menstruator, and if it works for me but it doesn't work for the rest, or it's not even working, then what's really the point?
Can I grab that? I
Yes.
mean, I know this is the one that you put the water in.
Yeah.
What I like is the fact that, the consciousness of the environment, I definitely was one of those persons that went through the fibroids and heavy bleeding. So, but the fact that, again, it's learning and being educated, that you can go through those factors of not wasting, having over and over. If you had offered this, it would have been make a difference a long time ago.
And just being open to like new concepts is very easy to just like, okay, these are the only options, but what else is out there? And not only in like period products, but in everything else. Like, okay, you're presenting me these options, but what else? What else is there? Are you hiding anything behind that I can maybe benefit from?
Yeah, and you said it from the beginning, also in the middle of the conversation. It can be costly. It's a pink
It
tax,
is.
I was
very
gonna say,
costly
this
for
might be
women.
helpful for parents teaching their young daughters like get their periods too, and making it in a fun way, like getting a fabric you like, like hey, you're
Yes.
starting your period, like this is how you use it, teaching them and like making it not fun. Periods are not fun, but
They create a,
like,
a
they're
nice
not
care
fun.
package,
but yeah, like
for the
a
girl,
care package like for your daughter, because a lot of like there's like younger girls that start like at what 12, 11.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
earlier.
My nieces, they started when they were 8.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
think about like, how is an elementary 4th grader, 5th grader having to deal with this? It's hard. Yes, periods are not fun, but there is a way to make them more positive and less painful if we prepare. Last week for Valentine's, I made a self-care period basket where I put like all the things that I would like to have during my period. I put some star acne patches because I think like they're so fun, and they're just like little cute ways or fun ways to make it a little bit better, and not just like everything is such a pain, everything is hurting. Yes, it's hurting, but I'm doing other things to make it better. And one of the ways is, okay, maybe at least I'm not gonna have a rash because I'm using this, or something like that.
If that package doesn't have Midol, I don't know what. No, but it's an amazing product. I know that when you and I spoke about it, I thought it would be really good to share. Especially, like if you're a parent and you have a kid that, is growing up and the options, you're just not educated on it, this is the episode. You got more here than you're going to get on anybody teaching you on any side. And so, we wish you a lot of luck, and we will definitely do our best to promote it on our end. And, we'll see you in Revolucion.
Thank you so much.
If they wanted to follow you, though, on social media, where would they go?
Instagram or TikTok at @just_.
Very cool. All right, everybody, that is our show. We hope you got educated here. I know I did, as the only in here who doesn't menstruate in the room. But that is our show. I'm Rafael. That is Yessica with a Y for people who misspelled it all these years. That is Yovy. That is Daisy. And we thank you. We're out.